Follow me is a SONY Xperia 1, and today I'll show you a couple tweaks and tricks that I can do on this device. So to get started, we're going to begin with the image quality, which you can find in settings under the display right here, and right at the top you have image quality settings. So by default it's set to standard mode, but you have the creator mode, which basically gives you the most accurate representation of what the creator of, for instance, content intended for the content to look like. So when you set it up or change it, you will automatically see the difference in, for instance, the white background. So like the all the stuff that was white here, now it's a little bit more yellowish, I would consider it. This one, the standard, now seems a little bit more blue. The white gives off a little bit of a blue hue, while the creator one gives off a more of a orangish tint. And that will extend system wide, so any kind of video that you will watch will basically now have this image quality. And like I said, it's apparently the most accurate one. And you can see there's also description, so it provides faithful reproduction of the creator's intended vision through 4K display and a special developer image processing, compatible with BT 2020 color gamma and 10-bit color of HDR specification. So now I believe this is primarily going to be intended as in from movies, because I believe most of the producers of like movies and stuff like that use equipment from Sony, and they're calibrating it, the displays to their partially to their own equipment, and also to some standards like the BT 2020. I assume that's some kind of specific calibration. I'm not necessarily a creator, so I'm not probably the best person to talk about it. But you can basically gather it from just the brief abbreviation right here that it's supposed to give you the most accurate representation of how the image is supposed to look like, the colors of it. So moving on, the next thing that I'm going to show is just a simple dark mode. Now in here it's called a little bit differently, so again it's under the display where we are right now, and you have the dark theme, and you can enable it. Tap on OK, and you can see that it changes into dark. Now it's not necessarily fully dark theme. For the most part, dark theme has completely black backgrounds that aren't rendered, which also will help the battery if your device has a AMOLED display or OLED, stuff like that. Which here is just grayish in certain cases. It looks like the notification panel is black, so that's one. And this also includes certain apps, but it looks like not all. So you can see messages is included, but then the dialer is not, which is a little bit weird considering the dialer is the device's standard default dialer, so I would expect it to be included actually. So moving on, next I'm going to show is a simple split screen. So on here they actually have it as a window, or not as a window, as an app. So when you tap on it, it brings up this menu right here. On the previous devices I remember there was a panel that you could pull out and have this thing show up, but it doesn't seem to be the case right now. But right here you have at the top right here, the first bar, you have just some I assume most used apps, which probably right now are just random because there is not really, I haven't really been opening any apps here specifically. But below is actually a better option, so you have a different combination of apps, which I assume you can customize all of that, so to basically specify what is showing. But personally, YouTube and Chrome is one of the better combinations that you can have. And when you tap on it, it automatically opens up both of them at once. So you're basically being saved from having to fiddle around and open both of them as you normally have to do on every other device. Here just tap a single, or basically do 2 taps, and your 2 apps are split screening the way you want it to. And because it's also split screen, it allows you to do things like listen to music on YouTube while actually doing other things on, for instance, your Chrome browser. And once you're done, you can just simply drag it all the way to the top. Then the next thing that I want to show is the game enhancer. Now I unfortunately don't have any games. The Fortnite is just an installer that comes preloaded on the device, but it still requires you to download it. But there is the app, Game Enhancer, and when you launch it, by the first time it gives you a bit of a guide and I guess a little bit of an overview what it will do. But in a way, it gives you boosts to gaming, that's number one. Has all your games neatly provided right here in a single place. And number three also provides a do not disturb mode, so you can have a better experience while gaming and not be interrupted. And then we have also settings, so we have record options, so you can choose how it can be recorded. You can choose which storage it will be saved on. Main screen, I'm not really sure what that is for, considering it's a phone, it has one screen, so I don't really get this. And yeah, so it's a good app to use when you're trying to just have a better gaming session on your device. And the last thing that I wanted to show is the Cinema Pro, which is the Sony built-in camera app that they have specifically for recording videos. And this is more way more professional than whatever you get, for instance, in the typical camera as you have right here. So as you can see in the video right here, you just get about nothing in terms of just like settings. So you can set the codec or whatever it is, format, what else, video stabilization, auto capture, object tracking, and video size. So yeah, that's basically all you can do here. Now I do see already one benefit to this video, the normal app video recording. It does capture full HD at 60 frames, which is something that you don't get to do on the Cinema Pro for some reason. Now we can go to it now. This app is only in landscape mode, but you have a lot of info right here provided and a lot of customization. You have the visualization of the sound, so that's picking up my voice right now. Then you have the level, so if you move it, you can see that it moves. It detects when the device is leveled. You also have resolutions right here. If I could actually click on it, that would be amazing, but for some reason it doesn't want to allow me to click on it. Let me just try to quit it and restart the app. Let's try a new project, tap on done. There we go. So now I can click on it. So as you will see right here, you have different resolutions. Now the lowest you can go is 2K, which actually is more like 1080p. It records it at ultra wide, which is 21:9 aspect ratio. Not sure why it's considering this as 2K, considering it's not. But here you have 4K, which also I don't think it is 4K. It's taking only the width of it as a 4K resolution, but then 4K has I think like what, 2100 by 3840, something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but this is not truly 4K. So just a, I guess, way to mislead people and try to market it better. But whatever resolution you choose, it's your choice here. Keep in mind that by 4K, going to 4K will capture, or well, take way more space on your phone in terms of like the capture size. Once you've chosen, just tap on set, then FPS here, let's go to 29. I would consider the more the better. Theoretically 23, almost 24 frames is the cinematic, or like how movies are recorded, but movies are also rendered not on the device. So here, by going with 23, I believe it's going to look a little bit more choppy than it does on actual movie. So again, a little bit weird of a choice here. There's a reason why we're going to 60 frames in terms of video recording on a phone rather than 23. Then you have the look, which is just a way for you to choose some kind of color spectrum in a way. Just if you want your image to look cool or just default, however you want it, you can choose it right here. Tap on set. Then you have things like the lens, so you can choose which lens you will use, which I believe this one is locked. There we go. So you have different lenses that you can choose, and as you will see out here, we have 3 different lenses. That's why it's showing 3 different options right here. You have the 16mm, 26 and 52. So you can choose whichever one you want. And all of them will succeed at different capture. So let's see if I bring this up here. Now I also probably could mess around with the focus right now and also the lighting because it's getting overblown. But you can see right now. So whatever you choose, tap on set. And like I said, we have the focus. It's right now fixed for some reason. I guess it's because of the lens. Let's test my, yep. So now I can change it. And it does have a neat option right here. So when you're recording, or when you're gonna be recording, you can set two different focus points, and then seamlessly switch between them, with the option also to choose A point and B point. And this will, I will show an example of this in a second. But you choose both of them. You also can choose the transition between one focus and the other one in terms of seconds, so how long it takes for it to go from point A to point B. So the longer you choose in seconds, the longer it will take, for instance, to get the other subject in focus as it's set. And as you can see, you can go to 3 seconds. It looks like 1.5 to 2 seconds is just good. And from here, you want to drag the A and B point to both. To basically, A is, for instance, your one subject, and B is the other subject, and make sure that both of them are in focus. And then you can just simply tap on set. And what it does is, when you start recording, you will have the option to tap on A or B, and it, as you can see, it will in 2 seconds switch from A to B focus. And as an example of this, I'm gonna go to this that I just simply recorded as a example. I can tap right here. Disregard the subtle hand shaking, but you can see the mug is right now in focus, and it's now switching to the case of my device. And now I guess I probably cut it a little bit too soon. It's ending a little bit abruptly, but you can get a brief view of what it does exactly. Also, the lighting is kind of trash here. So yeah, it allows you to do nice cinematic footages with a little bit more control than any kind of other camera app will allow you to. But this would conclude all the tweaks and tricks that I wanted to share. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.